Hello and welcome to this relaxation exercise for headaches and migraines. When you're ready, feel free to lay down and get yourself in a comfortable spot. If you have a blanket, any cushions that you need, and have those close by. Make sure you're warm and comfortable as you lay down. You can lay however is comfortable for you. There's no set guidelines on how you need to lay for this exercise. And as you get comfortable, just know that all you need to do for the next 20 minutes or so is just listen to my voice. So often, life is about doing things. And sometimes it's just nice to receive. And right now, you don't need to do anything. And you can receive this practice. You may find that you drift off through this practice, and that's fine. You'll still be receiving my voice and receiving this treatment for the body. At the end of this session, I'll give you the prompt to return to the room. But if you're listening to this before sleep or in the night, then feel free to ignore that and stay in your comfortable position. So we'll just start by noticing the places where the body meets the surface beneath you. So whether that's the floor, the bed, perhaps a chair, just noticing where your body feels supported by the surface beneath you. You possibly make your body a little bit heavier in those places. And allow that surface to support you just that little bit more. And now just turning our attention to the breath. Not changing the breath at all, but just noticing the rise and the fall. Noticing where you can feel your breath. Perhaps it's in the lower chest area or the upper chest, in your mouth or your nose. Perhaps your shoulders move as you breathe. There's some movement through your neck. And now just focusing on the exhale. And every time you exhale, just seeing if you can make the exhale just a little bit longer than the inhale. So now we're focusing on changing the breath slightly so that we spend longer breathing out than we do breathing in. And then just letting go of that awareness of the breath. And if you wish to, then I invite you to set a sankalpa or an intention for this practice. So maybe you have one already, but if you don't, then the sankalpa is an intention, a wish for this time you have to relax, or indeed for life in general. You can make up your own. Just make sure to put it into present tense. So an example would be, I listen to my body, or I feel peaceful. If nothing springs to mind, then feel free to skip this step, or you can use my suggestion of, I listen to my body. Just repeat your sankalpa, your intention, within your mind 3 times now. And now just letting go of the sankalpa. And bringing your attention to the head, to the temples, left and right temple. Is it possible you can release some of the tension in those temples? Just relax those muscles around the temples just that little bit more. Imagine them sliding down onto the surface beneath you. And now your forehead. Can you release any more tension there? Can you imagine those muscles of your forehead just sliding down either side of your head, becoming so relaxed? And now the muscles within your cheeks. And they become really relaxed and heavy and soft. And you soften your jaw. Let go of holding on to the jaw. Let the jawbone just sit however it wants to without any tension. Let go of any tension around the lips. And keep your tongue loose and heavy. If you can rest your tongue comfortably on the top of your mouth, then go ahead. If that creates any kind of tension for you, then let the tongue just fall however it wants to. And now focusing our attention on the back of the neck. And that become any heavier, and it sink down onto the surface beneath you anymore. And now both shoulders, and they become heavier. They drop away from your ears. And just letting go of that attention on the shoulders. And we're now going to rotate our attention around the body. So just starting at that space between your eyebrows, that third eye space, just focusing there. And now bringing your attention to the left jaw, the left side of the jaw. And now the right side of the jaw. And now back to that third eye space. And now the left shoulder. And now the right shoulder. And back to that third eye space. And now the left middle finger. And the right middle finger. And then back to that third eye space. And now the left hip. And the right hip. And back to that third eye space. And now the left toe. And the right toes. And back to that third eye space. And now the navel, so the belly button. And now the left big toe. The right big toe. Back to the navel. And then the left shoulder. The right shoulder. Back to the navel. And now the left ear. The right ear. Back to the navel. And lastly, back to that third eye space. And now we draw our attention back to the breath. First of all, just once again noticing the breath. And then I'd like to invite you to imagine a line from your nose going all the way down to your belly button, your navel. Next time you take a breath in, just imagine that line coming from your nose down towards your navel as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, that line coming back up from the navel to your nose. As you breathe in, that line from the nose down to the navel. And as you breathe out, that line back from the navel, back up to the nose. Keep going with this imagery, this line between the nose and the navel, changing in direction each time you breathe in and out. I'll be silent for a minute whilst you keep up with this imagery if you wish. And just letting go of your awareness of the breath. We're now going to move on to looking at opposites in the body. And I'd first like to encourage you, if you wish, to find a place in your body that feels heavy. And if more than one place feels heavy, or even if nowhere feels heavy, then just choose anywhere in the body that you wish. Perhaps it's an arm or a leg, or perhaps it's your head. Just choose an area of the body. And once you've made your choice, I'd like you to imagine that heaviness increasing in that area. So that part of your body feels really heavy. It's sinking into the surface beneath you, almost like a magnet is pulling it down. It's so heavy, weighs so much. So drawn down to that surface beneath you. And now, if you wish, I'd like you to imagine that same part of your body feeling really light, as if it's floating. Imagine somebody has tied some balloons to this area of your body, and it's just effortlessly floating upwards. It feels so weightless and light. With no effort at all on your part. This part of the body is so light and free and weightless. And then I'd like you to imagine this same part of the body being both heavy, so sinking into the surface beneath you, and also feeling light at the same time, as if those balloons are lifting it up. So both of those things are happening at once. There's that heaviness drawing that body part downwards, and there's that weightlessness lifting that body part up. And both of those things be true at the same time. Is it possible? Just to imagine that for a few moments. And now just letting go of the awareness of that body part. I'll leave you silent for a minute, just to allow the free flow of some thoughts that perhaps you might want to allow in and then let go of. Just watching them come in and out. And if at the beginning of this practice you set a sankalpa, so an intention, if you wish to, let's return our awareness to that. If you were following mine, the words were, I listen to my body. Once again, if you wish, repeat your sankalpa in your mind to yourself 3 times. And now we'll gently start our return back into the body by bringing our awareness back to the breath. The inhale and the exhale. And if you wish, you can start to make the inhale slightly longer and the exhale slightly shorter for the next few breaths. And now let's take our attention back to those places where our bodies meet the surface beneath us. Just noticing the support beneath our body. And if you wish to, you can start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. If you're on your back, perhaps you'd like to roll over to your side. And then slowly blink your eyes open. I will leave you here. Thank you so much for taking this time today, focusing on yourself, your own well-being, your own health.